Hello, Mao here. So I was talking to a founder that I've been in touch for a long time now. She's actually quite successful in terms of fundraising, and she's actually developing her product. One of the points that came about is that she actually is developing three different functions for this product. First, she's going to do one, deliver one, and then she's going to do the second, and then she's going to do the third. And only after that, she's going to actually start selling her product to her customers. But one thing that actually came to my mind, and I was talking to her about it, is isn't there value on these functions? Isn't there enough value on these single functions that she's developing to actually start selling the product? And that's something that I come across with several funders. They just start developing a product. They want to have a very good and finished product. However, they don't take a look into it if what they already have is not enough for them to start selling. And sometimes it's because they are too focused on the final product, sometimes because they're more focused on the developing process than actually selling the product itself. But it's something that you have to keep in mind and you have to be careful about it, because as soon as you start selling your product and making money out of it, first of all, you have to raise less money. And second, you already prove yourself as something that actually the market wants. And there are a few things that you should keep in mind and some questions that you should ask yourself in order to try to see if you're not in that particular stage. So the first one will be, can I separate the product functions and actually generate value for the customer with only these separate functions? And can they be a product on their own? And eventually, maybe start with one function and then develop other functions on top of that and charge more for it. The second question is, what can I deliver to the customer now? Do I already have something that is of value for the customer that I can deliver? If the answer is yes, then you should look into it. Then next one, would the customer be willing to actually pay for this? That's a tricky one. We have to talk to the customer, we have to understand. And if he's not willing to pay for it, you have to understand why and what you need to do it in order for him to pay for it, or maybe you have to develop that even further. And the last one is, what do I need to actually start selling for my customer right now? Just have a look at all these other points that we talk behind. So basically, if you have functions that you're developing for a product, can these functions be a product on themselves? And then you can actually generate more money and start selling earlier, because you don't need as much time to develop a full product and you need to develop these early functions. Second, is that possible to deliver right now? Maybe you have not even finished the first function of your product, but if you have, then you can already maybe start delivering and generating value for your customer. Then the next one will be, would the customer be willing to pay for that solution? Because if you're generating value for the customer, you would expect him to actually want to pay for it. But sometimes that's not quite the case. So you have to talk to your customer, you have to understand what he wants, and if he's willing to pay for it, then you can go ahead. But if he's not, you have to talk to him and understand why not, and what you should add to it or change to it so he'll be willing to do that. And the last one is, what do I need to do in order to start selling to my customer now? So that's another thing that you should be looking at. So basically, do not wait until you think you have a complete product to actually see if you have something of value with what you already have. And if you don't have, just look at the easiest win possible. What can you develop right now and put out there for the customer in order to have something to sell? So go ahead, leave your comments below. I would love to know your ideas and your issues related to startups. And this is a conversation. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you have not done it yet, subscribe to my newsletter. The link is on the description below. Take care.